Hi everyone, this is Angel from Avex Gaming, and today I am going to give you a very basic introduction on how to play Mahjong in video games. The intention of this guide is to get you started on what's happening on any Mahjong game so you can get the general idea, and with a little bit of practice, win some rounds and eventually a game.
Tsumo.
If you want a really deep explanation, I suggest this fantastic video that I will link in the description down below, which covers absolutely everything you need to know about Riichi Mahjong, so be sure to check it out later. Through this video I will be using Mahjong gameplay from Judgment, the new game from RGG Studios, but I am sure that this should be very familiar no matter what game you are playing in. So grab some pen and paper or somewhere to write stuff, and let's jump right into it. First, let's understand the actual Mahjong board. Every time you start a Mahjong game, you will now see this. There are 4 bunch of tiles, one for each player on each side of the screen. Your position will always be on the bottom part, and your name, as well as the other players, will have a letter, N, W, E, or S, as in North, West, East, and South. This is called the player's seat wind. The letters rotate counterclockwise with each new hand or round unless the dealer wins. In that case, they stay the same. The number below your name is the total points that you have. You will also see a rectangle in the middle. The symbol on the top left shows how many tiles are left to draw. The other two symbols refer to bonus points, but that is a little bit more advanced and won't be covered on this video. Just take into consideration that if you see a number there, you can get extra points if you win. The big word East refers to the round wind of the game, and the number to its right is the hand that is being played right now. This number usually goes up until number 4, and then the game is over. Finally, the tile that is shown directly below is called Dora. This is a special tile that can grant a bonus when calculating the final score. We will explain that later. Now let's get to action. Every time you start the game, you will have 13 tiles on your row. They can belong to 5 different suits. 3 of them are numbered suits. The one with Chinese characters, green bamboos, and balls, or dots. Each of them goes from 1 to 9. The remaining 2 suits are called the honor suits. The first honor suit is the one with 4 Chinese characters with the pink letter at the top left. N, W, E, and S, which stand for, you guessed it, North, West, East, and South. The remaining honor suit are these colored Chinese characters called dragons: green dragon, white dragon, and red dragon. Each suit has 4 tiles of each kind, resulting in a total of 136 tiles. I know this is a lot to memorize at the beginning, so check the cheat sheet in the description of the video so you can have a little help while you try to memorize them. Now that we know about the tiles, let's talk about the game. The objective of the game is to create a winning hand of tiles that consists of 4 groups of 3 tiles, called melts, and a pair before any of the other players. A pair is, well, just 2 of the same tile, while melts can be either 3 of the same tile or 3 tiles that form a straight combination. Each turn, a player draws 1 tile at a time so that their existing 13 tile hand is converted into a 14 tile hand. If the 14 tiles that you have on your hand can successfully create a winning hand combination of 4 melts and a pair, you win. If not, you discard the tile to your discard pile in front of you, and it's the end of your turn. Each player does the same in their turn until there is a winner. If this doesn't happen, the match ends in a draw. Now, as easy as forming 4 melts and a pair sounds, there is a catch. Not all 4 melts and a pair combinations are valid or considered a winning hand. To make this a lot easier, I'll leave the link to this fantastic cheat sheet in the description of the video. In Riichi Mahjong, the Japanese version of Mahjong that you can play in most video games, there are a number of specific winning hand combinations called Yaku, and here you can see all of them. The more complex the combination is, the more value your hand will have and the more points you will score. Try to have this at all times with you, either on your cell phone, laptop, or printed, and take your time each time you draw to check which combinations are the best for your hand. The first big restriction you will see on this table is that your winning hand can be concealed or open. What this means is that you can form your hand by using only tiles you draw or by stealing from other players in any point of the match. And here I'm going to go a little bit deeper because there are different kind of actions that can be prompted in the game depending on the tiles available and your situation. If you have two of a kind and a third one is discarded by any player, the game will show pawn. If you have three of a kind and the last remaining is discarded, the game will show two different options, pawn or can. Pawn will create a meld with 3 tiles, and can will create a quad with 4 tiles. Having a can or quad will allow you to have an extra tile in your hand, and you can still win, but instead of having 14 tiles on your winning hand, you will have 15. If you have 2 tiles that can form a sequence and the player to your left discards a tile that completes it, the game will show chi. This interesting offensive and defensive stealing mechanic are one of the keys to winning Mahjong, because you need to be aware of what tiles you are looking for, how many can be left, what other players are discarding, and what are you discarding that can benefit the other players. If an enemy discards a tile that you can use to complete your winning hand, no matter if it's a pair or a meld, the game will show run. The other possible scenario is that if the last tile that forms your winning hand is drawn by yourself, you will have the option to Tsumo. Either way will make you win that current hand. By doing pawn, chi, or can, you will steal the tile and place it like this to your right. As a consequence, you will open your hand and show the resulting meld or quad, and now your actual hand will have fewer winning combinations available. That is why you will usually see the opponents ignoring chi, pawn, or can unless they really need to do it, because it diminishes their chances to win. No matter if you win or lose, if you're beginning to play Mahjong, pay close attention to what was the winning player hand composition for each hand. This will give you a lot of information of the Yaku or winning combination the other players use and will broaden your options. The more combinations you know early in the game, the more scenarios you have for selecting which tiles to discard or not, affecting the possible outcome of the match.
Dora.
The most comfortable scenario for you is to reach what is called Tenpai. When you just need one more tile to complete a winning hand, you are in Tenpai. This way, you keep discarding the 14th tile again and again and again until you can draw it by yourself, doing Tsumo, or steal from someone, doing run, and win. There is a special action called Riichi. If you see an enemy called Riichi, or if it appears to you, it means that the player is in Tenpai, has a concealed hand, and they have at least 1000 points. Activating Riichi grants you one additional Yaku, or winning combination, locks your hand so you can't make any changes, places this tiny stick in front of your name, and by doing so, you bet 1000 points. The game shows you how many tiles are left for the combination that you need, and you just need to draw additional tiles automatically. Basically, the Riichi is like a big warning for everyone that the game may end in any second. So, if you're on the Riichi side, great, you have a great risk but a high chance of a reward. But if you're being alerted of a Riichi, try to ready your hand as quickly as possible or you can be caught off guard. Once there is a winner, the points are decided depending on the number of winning combinations or Yaku that the winner has. For example, in this winning hand we have 3 East symbols that match the win of the round equals to 1 hand. 3 white dragons, another 1 hand, a half flush that consists of a hand with only 1 set and honor tiles, 3 hand, and finally the special Dora tile that we mentioned at the very beginning of the video and is used in a meld. The Dora will always be different in each match and each round. It will always be visible below the rectangle in the middle, and its value will always be the tile that is shown plus 1. So for example, here we have a 3 of characters, then the Dora value is 4 of characters. Honor tiles can also be Dora, and here's another handy chart to help you out with this. All these combinations give us a total of 6 hand and award a ton of points. Because the last tile was stolen from a player using Ron, all the points are subtracted from his pool of points. And in case you do a Tsumo by drawing the last tile by yourself, all the points are subtracted between the rest of the players. That is why you always have to be very careful with what you discard, because if you trigger another player's run, you will be penalized with a lot of points. If nobody wins and there is a draw, you can earn or lose points as well. And the decisive factor here is whether or not the players are 1 tile away from winning a hand, aka being in Tenpai. If all players are in Tenpai, nobody receives points. If 1 player is in Tenpai, he wins 3,000 points and the rest lose 1,000 points each. If 2 players are in Tenpai, both win 1,500 points and the rest lose 1,500 points each. Finally, if 3 players are in Tenpai, they get 1,000 points, and for the unlucky guy that didn't get to Tenpai, he will lose 3,000 points. This system is great because even if you didn't have the greatest hand last time, you can still win the game if you go for the long run and become a more strategic player. Now let's see a demonstration of all of what I've explained earlier in the action, and I will be marking my decisions and what melds I'm looking for so you can follow along. I hope this has been a very nice starting point for you in your Mahjong journey. Thank you for watching the video and good luck with your tiles.
Boom.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
てられないわ。
ポン。
いいつもが来るじゃない。
ツモ。いいね。
ここは様子見だな。
役杯ドラ3。